The story kicks off inside the walls of a prison, unlike most others. Among the gray cells and steel doors lives a man who rules the place as if it were his kingdom. His name is Balam, a powerful Mexican cartel boss and international drug lord. Though he is technically a prisoner, Balam doesn't live like the rest of the inmates. He has his own private guards, the freedom to run businesses, and influence that stretches far beyond the barbed wire. Balam controls a vast empire of crime, with his hands deep in drug trafficking, weapons smuggling, and human trade. From behind bars, he manages operations both inside the prison and outside on the streets. While Balam enjoys this strange luxury, new prisoners arrive at the facility. They are marched through the intake, stripped of their pride, and thrown into the cold, lifeless blocks. Nothing like Balam's palace-like cell. Among the officers overseeing the process is Officer Green, a hardened corrections officer who treats his authority like a personal mission. His sharp eyes quickly fall on one particular inmate, Jack Stone.
And you put a lot of them boys in here, didn't you? And there's us guards. Right in the middle of it all.
The clock turns back a week before Jack's arrest. At that time, Jack wasn't a convict at all. He was still a police officer, but he and two trusted allies carried out a daring bank robbery.
Here for the bank's money, not yours. The bank manager, Anton Urich. Where is he? You got 3 seconds to open the vault. 1, 2. Keys.
On the surface, it looked like a crime for money, but Jack's true motive went deeper. Hidden in the bank's vault were files and documents that exposed widespread corruption among government officials and dirty police officers. Many of those figures were directly tied to Balam's network. After securing what he needed, Jack set a bomb for the remaining valuables, covering his tracks, and made his escape. Bloodied and cornered, Jack rushed into a nearby building, desperate for an exit. Several policemen closed in, but before they could catch him, Jack tossed the bag down one corridor and sprinted upstairs to lose them. One officer crept after him onto the same floor, but Jack was ready. With practiced precision, he dealt with the man and kept moving.
That's far enough. Hands up, now!
The man who recovered the bag later delivered the precious documents, CDs, and files loaded with evidence to Tricia Sinclair, a determined journalist with the courage to chase the truth. She carefully unzipped the bag, pulling out each piece of evidence and laying it out in order. Every page she touched brought her closer to a storm she could barely imagine. Back in the present, Jack struggles through his prison sentence. His arrest wasn't by chance. He had surrendered deliberately, determined to get close to Balam. But even now, he hasn't seen the cartel boss. Instead, Jack crosses paths with Silva, a chatty inmate who seems blissfully unaware of the storm brewing around his new cellmate. During mealtime in the cafeteria, the prison's hierarchy becomes clear. Semyon, a violent inmate and Balam's cousin, struts up to the newcomers, demanding security money for protection.
Yeah, I don't think I need protection from you.
Always. Pick him up, put him in a cell. My name is Semyon.
Get up, come on.
Not long after, Jack is escorted into a private room where a camera waits. On the other side of the surveillance feed sits Balam himself. Reclining in his lavish chair, the drug lord stares straight into Jack's eyes and begins his interrogation.
Detective Jack Stone, you've cost me men, shipments, money. On pleading guilty to share a prison with me, I am sorry we are not meeting in person.
Why don't we change that?
The king stays in his castle.
I'm not here for your throne, Balaam.
What did you take from my vault? I will make sure you die like your wife. I suffering in agony while you watched that you did not die as well. We are at war.
Jack doesn't flinch. His silence alone is defiance, and Balam senses this prisoner won't break easily. Meanwhile, outside the prison walls, Tricia is hard at work, piecing together the files Jack delivered. She uncovers evidence of widespread corruption, implicating both government figures and senior police officers. Curious about Jack Stone's true identity, she digs deeper into his past. Jack, meanwhile, lies on his bunk, staring at the ceiling. His thoughts drift back to the moment of his arrest, a violent clash between himself, once an officer of the law, and his fellow police who now hunted him as a criminal.
Fences don't just jump out in front of cars, Tim.
That same night, 3 inmates creep into Jack's cell while Silva snores loudly from the top bunk. They believe Jack is asleep, but as they move in for the attack, he springs up and meets them head-on, fighting back with calculated ferocity. Elsewhere, Tricia arrives at the prosecutor's office, determined to hand over the files herself. But the district attorney is suddenly called away. Instead, she's told to leave the evidence with his assistant, Mark. Something about Mark unsettles her. Distrustful, she refuses and decides to reschedule. Later, she waits outside the courthouse and confronts the DA directly, determined to keep the chain of evidence safe.
I'm so sorry. I made an appointment with you, but your guard dog canceled it. Jack Stone and Balaam Moglovich?
Balaam?
I don't think it was by coincidence. What if Jack and Balaam are working together? A city detective in bed with the Russian mob? I just want to make sure I understand everything before I present the evidence.
God.
Later, Tricia visits Jack in prison. Sitting across from him in the visitor's room, she explains she's moving forward with the investigation. Jack warns her to be careful. The information she carries is dangerous, and powerful men will kill to keep it buried. Back in his cell afterward, Jack lies awake, haunted by tender memories of his late wife.
Happy birthday. I know that you will always be there for me.
His thoughts are interrupted when the cleaner enters. The man, William, had quietly helped Jack before, and now he reveals more of himself. Weathered by years behind bars, William's eyes are sharp, his tone measured. He warns Jack to stay alert. Semyon and Balaam won't let defiance go unpunished. Jack, however, remains calm. He doesn't fear them. Instead, he asks William about Balaam's hidden quarters. William admits that almost no one knows exactly where Balaam resides. Secrecy is his strongest defense. Even many guards are left in the dark. While Jack prepares his next move, another story unfolds in a nearby women's prison. After guards break up a fight, one inmate, Alina, is dragged away towards solitary confinement. But midway, another guard intervenes, claiming he will take her instead. Suspicious but powerless, Alina questions where she's being taken. Instead of answers, the guard mocks her, shoving a blindfold over her head. Moments later, she is brought before Balaam, surrounded by his loyal followers.
Control means respect.
I know all this.
That shows me disrespect, even from my own cousin.
I would never
Disrespectful. Trying to kill Jack Stone and take credit. Your face is the mixture of beauty and tragedy.
Balaam accuses Elena of striking down one of his most trusted female enforcers, Katharina. Elena trembles but stays silent, knowing any word could seal her fate. To her surprise, Balaam only threatens her and lets her go, though the menace in his voice makes clear her life hangs by a thread.
Your failure to kill Jack Stone, weakness leads to dissonance.
Please, cousin, give me a second chance. I won't let you down.
$100,000 brings me Jack Stone's head.
Word of Balaam's wrath spreads quickly through the prison. William delivers the news to Jack. A bounty has been placed on his head. Now nearly every inmate is a potential assassin, eager for money or Balaam's favor. William asks what Jack plans to do, but Jack remains silent, his calm unshaken. Still, William warns him the danger runs deeper. The guards themselves are among the bounty hunters, loyal to Balaam's power. As if on cue, guards storm in, barking orders for inmates to clear out. Soon after, a mob of prisoners rushes Jack and William, their eyes burning with greed. The cell block explodes into chaos as fists and makeshift weapons swing in the air, all aimed at claiming Jack's life.
Who are you?
A friend.
Meanwhile, Balaam receives a troubling phone call from District Attorney Johnson himself. Johnson warns that a female journalist, Tricia, is investigating corruption, and she now holds the files linking government officials and police officers to Balaam's empire. Outraged, Balaam insists those files were destroyed in the bank vault, but Johnson is firm. Tricia has everything she needs to expose them. Furious, Balaam orders Johnson to silence her immediately. In return, he promises to deal with Jack Stone personally before the day is over. Back inside the prison laundry room, Jack quietly works, folding uniforms. Suddenly, he is surrounded. A circle of thug wardens, men who secretly serve Balaam, close in on him, their intentions written in their cold, predatory stares. Battered but unbroken, Jack staggers out of the laundry room, only to be met by a wave of inmates closing in, eager for another bloody attempt on his life. But instead of fighting, Jack uses logic to turn the tide. He speaks loud enough for all to hear, calculating their greed. If the bounty is divided among every convict who joins the assault, each man would earn only a fraction, barely $11,000 apiece. For such a sum, they'd be gambling with their lives against someone who has already proven he can take down multiple attackers at once. His reasoning sinks in. Murmurs ripple through the crowd, doubt spreads, and one by one, the prisoners begin to step back. What could have erupted into a riot fizzles into uneasy silence. Meanwhile, outside the walls, journalist Tricia Sinclair continues her own battle. She feels watched, stalked even. Every shadow unsettles her, and the sensation of being followed makes her stomach twist with dread. Her fight for the truth grows more dangerous by the hour.
No! Must have been some visit, huh? Oh, what's wrong?
I've been going about this all wrong. This whole time, I've been trying to connect Jack Stone with the corruption, which is why I was getting nowhere.
What are you gonna do about it?
Cross-check everything, make sure I understand it all, and make the call.
Back in the women's prison, Elena, who is secretly an undercover FBI operative, presses on with her covert mission. Balaam orders her to make peace with his trusted lieutenant, Katharina, after their earlier violent clash. On the surface, Elena approaches with an apology, but beneath the mask, her intent is different. She aims to provoke Kat again, forcing another confrontation. The fight leaves her bloodied, and guards rush her to the infirmary for medical care, exactly what she wanted. While the doctor runs examinations, Elena keeps her mind sharp. When no one is looking, she palms a paper pin from the tray. Once the staff steps out, leaving her to rest, she sets her plan in motion. With practiced skill, she slips free of her cuffs, then scavenges bottles of alcohol and narcotics, hiding them in a mop bucket often used by William, her partner on the inside. In return, she retrieves a small key tucked inside the bucket's lining. Armed with it, she climbs up into the air ducts, beginning her escape route.
Happier? Yes, she seems happier.
Meanwhile, back at the men's prison, Tricia secures another visit with Jack. Sitting across the glass, she first expresses sorrow for his wife's death, her voice heavy with sympathy. Then she warns him about the chaos Balaam's men are unleashing outside, tightening the cartel's grip on the city. Jack nods grimly. He already knows. In a flashback, he recounts to her the horrifying night his wife was murdered, the memory still raw, carved into his soul.
What happens to me doesn't matter. This is about those responsible.
Meanwhile, Elena, after marking a makeshift map across her own body to remember the facility's layout, slips back down from the vents. She exits the room as though nothing has happened, but just as she steps into the hallway, she spots the nurse returning to check on her. Her cover is seconds from being blown. Fortunately, William appears nearby and intercepts the nurse, distracting him long enough for Elena to duck back out of sight. Later, Jack confronts what he already suspects. William isn't just another prisoner. When he asks, William finally admits the truth. He is an FBI agent, deep undercover. For 6 long months, William has lived as a convict, blending into the prison's dangerous hierarchy while collecting evidence against corrupt police officers and officials entangled with Balaam's empire. Elena, Jack learns, has been his partner all along, planted in the women's wing for the same mission. The revelation changes everything. Jack's battle is no longer his alone. Before they can say more, their conversation is cut short by the sudden arrival of Balaam's thugs.
Oh, yeah! There's more than just me here. Get ready to move when the time comes.
In the aftermath, Jack is punished and thrown into solitary confinement. Alone in the dim cell, he falls into haunting flashbacks of his late wife and their tender moments together, memories that fuel both his grief and his resolve. Meanwhile, William is summoned to the office of Warden Blaine, a man whose loyalties have long been suspect. Whispers in the prison claim Blaine is firmly under Balaam's thumb.
William, I have to say, I'm very disappointed in you. They saw you pick up Losif I'd throw him over that railing.
Romans 13:4. Revenge who would execute wrath on him who...
If you want to put your faith in God to save you, that's up to you, but...
Can you help me?
Yes, for a price.
Outside, Tricia once again attempts to meet District Attorney Johnson, clinging to hope that he will act on the files, but she is blocked yet again by his assistant, Mark, who insists the DA is unavailable. Mark advises her to pass the documents directly to the FBI if she truly believes the matter is urgent. Suspicion gnaws at her, but with options dwindling, she weighs the advice. Back inside, Balaam receives a rare visit from his daughter. To his surprise, she does not come in loyalty but in fury. She berates him bitterly, shaming him for the pain and destruction his empire has brought upon their family.
I've been lied to my whole entire life. I thought you were dead. I was told that you were some national hero. Did Mom know what you are? Drugs, weapons, human trafficking? Tell me the truth.
Those things, they are not true.
You made a choice. So I'm making a choice right now never to be a part of yours. I don't want anything to do with you.
Meanwhile, Elena feigns exhaustion and convinces a guard to escort her away. But before long, she and William overpower him, slipping deeper into the facility. William disguises himself in security gear, blending in long enough to infiltrate the surveillance control room.
Standing by.
I'm in.
Balaam and a guard escort leaving the visiting area. Jackson solitary.
Okay, Jack. Cleaner, friend.
I take it this is not a social call.
Which way? Dead right. All right, Jack, we're running out of time.
It's getting close to you, Jack.
Time, however, is against them. Blaine and his allies quickly discover the breach. Alarms blare, guards flood the corridors, and the prison erupts into chaos. Elena scrambles through the ventilation shafts, dodging capture by inches. William, knowing delay means failure, takes drastic measures to hold their enemies at bay.
I was just about to come for you.
No! I want Stone!
Beyond the prison walls, the conspiracy against Tricia reaches its deadliest stage. District Attorney Johnson, once her supposed ally, and Allison, a woman she trusted, plot to silence her permanently. Cornered, Tricia fights for her life. Allison lunges at her, nearly succeeding in snuffing her out before a narrow escape spares the journalist.
FBI, Miss Sinclair.
Back inside, Warden Blaine and his corrupt guards scramble to maintain order, but William strikes with ruthless precision. One by one, he eliminates them, dismantling their control until he finally corners Blaine himself. Looking him dead in the eye, William declares that his reign is over. At the same time, Jack at last forces his way into Balaam's quarters, standing face to face with the man who destroyed his life. Soon after, SWAT teams storm the prison, regaining full control of the facility. In the aftermath, William formally introduces Jack to Elena, recognizing him not just as a fellow fighter, but as a valuable ally in their mission. Together, the three of them have helped bring down Balaam's empire from both inside and outside the walls. The FBI acts swiftly, mopping up the remnants of the cartel's operations.
District Attorney Johnson has been arrested as well.
As for Jack, he remains in custody, his crimes not forgotten, but his role in dismantling Balaam's network cannot be denied. In the final moments, William, impressed by Jack's courage and determination, places a reassuring hand on his shoulder before leading him toward the waiting police car. For Jack Stone, once a grieving husband turned rogue, the path ahead is uncertain, but redemption now lies within reach. His skills, once driven by vengeance, may finally serve justice.